Doggies fans, all things Bulldogs. So we're going to name our edge back rowers for the top 17 for 23, and then we'll go through the bench as well. The contenders obviously are Villiame Kickout, he's on the left. Other left back edge rowers are Raymond Fatala-Mariner and Corey Waddell. Jacob Preston, I think, can play on the left or right. I think he does play on the left though. Gerald Skelton could play on the right, so could Jade Knockenball. I think he'd play on the right as well, being right centres and wingers if they were to transition into the edge. But the two that I'm going to pick will be standouts in a lot of people's top 17s, and that's Villiame Kickout. He retains the left. That makes the left edge with Matt Burton, Paul Alamotti. Well, you could swap him with Braden Burns. They can play either side, but I think we'll be stronger with Alamotti on the left. The Fox on the left as well, Averillo chiming in from fullback. And the big Villiame Kickout. Now, he's going to do a lot of wonders there. Top 3 for offloads last season. Add that to Tavita Pangai Jr. We've got a team that can do a lot of second phase, but also have some really structured play. And, you know, that kicking penetration as well with Burton. Kickout's going to give a lot more time with Marnie as well from dummy half. So it's all looking good for the left edge. And we'll see in the way that Big Bill Kickout chases from dummy half to put on kick pressure, the way he rushes up on in defence. Sometimes he'll miss a few tackles, but that's usually from the pressure he's providing and the speed at which he's doing it at. And he'll often slow players down if he does slide off. But the big boy out wide, he plays hard as well. So he offers us a lot in attack and defence. And he is a very, I don't think to me, he's a similar player to Gordon Tallis. You know, they don't do 25 runs per game and 100 tackles. But everything they do generally is quite special in the game. And big Villiame Kickout, his ball playing ability as well has been really good. But that's enough on Big Bill. The right edge, I'm going to give it to Raymond Fatala-Mariner. If he can transition there and play that side, better experts will know more than me. You might see that they'll put in Andrew Davey or Jackson Tapine on the right edge. But I'd go with Big Ray rather than have him as a bench player. I think he needs to start. And but we'll see. I'm sure he will add to the side in whatever capacity is best for the team. But down the right-hand side, that would be with Burns or Alamotti. Jacob Carraz on that edge as well. Flanagan playing along on the right. Averillo coming along on the right as well. He can pop up both sides. The halfback should be able to do the same. And it looks for a very potent left and right edge for the Bulldogs. Obviously, the ones that'll miss out, we've got Jacob Preston, as I said. He's a work in progress. Gerald Skelton, another one, and Andrew Davey, you'll find will press hard for an edge spot. And one's outside the top 30, Harrison Edwards, Curtis Moran, they could all come in. And Jackson Tapine, I think, will be pushing hard for a spot in come 2023. So that is the second row picture. We'll now go into who makes the all-important bench and name our top 17. Okay, so let's talk about the all-important bench for 2023. And as I said, we could have some upgrades to the top 30. The like of Josh Reynolds could come in, but if they're not in the top 30 right now, I'm not considering them as, or if they're injured, I'm not considering them for the top 17 to start 2023 based on things the way they are now. So obviously things could change again. So the utility position goes to New Brown. Now New Brown hasn't come to the Dogs to play 7 minutes a game and not have an influence. I think that while Reid Marnie has been an 80-minute player, Serraldo, the way that the Panthers utilised Appy Coruscant and Mitch Kenny, and I think you'll see him continue to do that with Sonny Luke and Mitch Kenny.
the way that Ben Hunt and Harry Grant were utilised, and that sort of approach is going to become the new normal in sides, and I think we'll see a much more physical approach by Reid Marnie over 60 to 65 minutes, and then potentially see New Brown utilised in a much more positive fashion than our bench has been utilised over the last 4 or 5 seasons. I really think that's what's going to happen, and it all remains to be seen. But New Brown, with his ability, and as he said, he's got unfinished business. He's contacted our club, said he wants to have an opportunity here to really contribute, and they've taken him up on his offer, and he's here to get things done with the Bulldogs. And a lot of people believed in New Brown, so I wish him all the best, and I think he starts as a permanent 14 and brings great value to our club. Obviously, other contenders for that role, people have said Jake Averillo, Caleb Rajeb, if he gets elevated to the top 30. The young fella, Brandon Clark, can play there, and you've got other players as well. Josh Reynolds, if he comes into the side. The front rowers, the middlemen to play bench. Ryan Sutton gets the gig. He will aim for a first grade starting spot. I'm sure of it. We'll get there eventually. He may even start, but in my opinion, he should start on the bench. And Franklin Pele, great cult following already. 2 big runs in a trial against the Dogs, and Dogs fans liked him straight away. And he's come to the Bulldogs, and we're excited. You know, my largest viewership is on a post I did about Franklin coming to the Dogs, and yeah, definitely he has a cult following already, and as a player we're all excited about. Can do it all. Was a junior kangaroo, Sharks junior, and a lot of size, a lot of speed, and a lot of X factor about him. And I think I'm hoping they get him in there early, get his minutes up, and get his fitness up, and let him prove himself over the season, and he could be a real find for us. So that leaves one last spot, and that goes to Jackson Tapine. He can play right edge, he can play centre, hooker. You could throw him anywhere. He could play in the middle. He could do anything. Lock forward. Some people have said he'd make a good lock. I think whatever they throw at Jackson, he'd be happy to oblige, and he'd die for the club, as he said many times. He's a fan favourite. Glad he got another 2-year contract, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the best of Jackson Tapine, and the time for Tapine is now. I think they need to put him in, and that leaves us with Andrew Davey and Corey Waddell as 18th, 19th man. Others for contention, obviously, were Gerald Skelton. He could have been in contention for an edge position, but it's hard. He's in contention for a centre position. I didn't really talk about him much in the centre discussions, but Gerald Skelton has a bit of X factor, and I think once he gets an opportunity, he's going to be hard to stop in the centre position. That's where I think he'll play, but I think Braden Burns will get the nod ahead of that first. So that's our team, our top 17. This is how it stands. Jake Averillo, number 1. Number 2, Josh Addo-Carr. 3, Paul Alamotti. 4, Braden Burns. Number 5, Jacob Carraz. 6 is Matt Burton. Kyle Flanagan, the number 7. Number 8 is Max King. 9, Reid Marnie. 10, Luke Thompson. 11, Villiame Kickow. 12 is Raymond Fatala Mariner. 13, Tavita Pangai Jr. 14, New Brown. 15, Ryan Sutton. 16, Franklin Pele. And 17, Jackson Tapine. 18th man, Andrew Davey. 19th man, Corey Waddell. And then we've got Skelton and Patolo, Hayes Perham, Declan Casey to round out the major contenders for the top 17. There we go, guys. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it all, and Merry Christmas to everyone. And hopefully whatever team they pick does the job. That's all we want to see. Interested to hear your thoughts. Take care and bye for now.